All right, the VA loan. Now, yeah, I know I could have probably kept this in real estate basics, but I feel like the VA loan deserves its own section. So, the VA loan, in my opinion, is the best primary residence mortgage product on the market. You can't beat the VA loan in most ways. It allows you to get into a property 1 to 4 units for zero down. You're still gonna need some money for closing costs, usually about 2 to 3% for closing costs and lenders fees and whatever. But you can actually wrap that back into the loan if the seller's willing to play ball. There's a lot of ways to do that. So I've seen plenty of people get in for like $0 out of pocket. I've even seen people walk away with money. In fact, there's even a way with the VA loan where you can get a seller's credit up to a certain percentage, depending on appraisal and all this other stuff, and then you can take that seller's credit and like put it into a credit, like pay off a credit card, right? So there's actually some pretty crazy things you can do with the VA loan. You can't do with most mortgages, but for the record, like for normal, just assume zero down on the loan and then 2 to 3% for closing costs. There's no limit on the amount that you can buy for your first property. So like I said in the last video about house hacking, the most I've ever seen right now is an active duty service member buy is a $1.93 million duplex. So that's a pretty big loan, but you're gonna have to qualify for it with income and all this other stuff. Now I will say, on like an FHA loan or conventional loan, 50% is the highest your debt to income ratio can go. On the VA loan, there's not a cap, and I think that one was like 73% debt to income, right? So pretty crazy when you consider it. It's usually the lowest interest rates you're going to see on any 30-year mortgage. There's no mortgage insurance. There's no private mortgage insurance or mortgage insurance premiums, which saves you a ton of money on the loan, right? There is a funding fee, right? So people will comment about that. They'll say, oh, but the funding fee is terrible. Well, it gets wrapped into the loan. And you can kind of think of it as like your down payment, or your lender's fees, whatever, however you want to think about it. First off, it's waived if you're 10% disabled or active duty and have a Purple Heart. It's also really not that bad. So I've got an article on the website breaking this down, but if you broke down the funding fee, it is still way less than mortgage insurance premium or PMI would be on an FHA loan or conventional loan or anything else. And yes, if you put 20% down on the house, you would not have to pay PMI or MIP with like a conventional mortgage, but you'd have a little bit higher interest rate. And think about like the opportunity cost. Like personally, I would rather put zero down and keep that 20% in the bank in case something goes wrong, or invest it, than put 20% down and have no money in the bank in case something goes wrong. Because you never know, like a water heater might go out right after you buy a house. So you still want to have some reserves when you buy a property. You still want to have some good finances. Like you still want to be set up for success. So all those things are still true. You just got to feel it all out, right? It can be used more than once. There are stipulations for how and why, and it does have to be used for like primary residence. So this isn't, you can buy a fourplex and house hack, but you can't buy an investment property or buy a house that you're going to Airbnb somewhere else or buy a vacation home with VA loan. You have to intend to move into it as your primary residence. And then, yeah, if you get orders 6 months down the road and you have to move, stuff happens. It is what it is, but don't try to game the game in gray area of this. Just use the VA loan when you intend to live in a house, and that's it, right? That's the way to do it. It is, in my opinion, the best mortgage product on the market. And I have like a 4,000 word article, 5,000 word article on the website about this, and then like an entire series on the YouTube channel with like 4 or 5 videos all about everything you need to know about the VA loan. So this is just kind of like a deep, like a down and dirty overview. If you want the deep dive and all the information on the VA loan, go check out those videos. There's a ton of information there, and I'm happy to answer questions about the VA loan. And also, worth noting here, one of the things we do in the community is we have a bunch of vetted real estate agents and lenders that we know just from having built the community, and we're happy to recommend any of those. So if you're looking at PCS, hit me up. Happy to make introductions for you and help you find somebody who actually knows what they're doing and actually understands how to use this in such a way that it'll help you get the best property with the best price and the best terms, and really just set you up for success. So on to the next section, which is the financial freedom plan.